In the wake of the tragedy in Orlando and also flooding in West Virginia, generous individuals are looking for ways to help those who are impacted, injured, those who have maybe lost their homes even. But the Better Business Bureau does have some warnings before you go out and donate. Here to talk more about it, we have Sean Rose joining us from the Better Business Bureau, or BBB as we like to call it. Thanks for coming in on this 4th of July.
Absolutely.
So go ahead and talk to us about some of the dangers of donating online.
Okay, so part of one thing that we always try to make sure people know and recommend is that anytime you go on a website, really in general, is make sure if you're going to pay for some kind of thing or have some kind of payment procedure that might, give credit card, bank account information, whatever, is you always want to make sure that there's an S, HTTPS. Okay. And S stands for secure.
Okay.
Yeah. So make sure it's a secure connection. One thing that we get a lot of calls about is that there's not a lot of good understanding about crowdfunding.
Yes.
And so a lot of crowdfunding sites don't have a verification procedure or a vetting procedure, so you don't really know if what you're being presented with on the crowdfunding site is actually what it's going towards.
Right.
And especially in terms of charitable giving, you always want to make sure that you make sure your dollars make the most impact where you can. So one third-party site that is pretty good about verification and vetting that actually has a system in place is called globalgiving.org.
Globalgiving.org, okay.
Yeah. So part of the Better Business Bureau, what we do is our Wise Giving Alliance, and it's the same type of information and verification procedures that we do for accredited businesses or businesses in general, but for nonprofits. And our Wise Giving Alliance can be located at give.org. And so it has all these information about different charities and different types of organizations. There's like 20 different standards they have to meet to become,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like everything from like governance to finances to how they, send out information or raise money, stuff like that. So.
Because it always happens after a tragedy. You want to give back, and there's always somebody out there preying on others, preying on the tragedy and then others' generosity at these times. Do you see it a lot? I mean, talk a little bit about that.
I mean, absolutely, yeah. There's definitely, times in the wake of any tragedy there will always be some type of scam that happens, especially like here we see it a lot with, natural disasters, tornadoes, wind damage, and we see it with contractors, roofers, and then of course the occasional charity that springs up and says we're going to give dollars to those impacted. So you want to make sure that you vet the organization, you do your research, that you know that what you're giving to is actually going on the impacted area. And a lot of times, especially with West Virginia, we recommend giving in-kind donations such as food, clothing, different types of stuff. Okay. Always check with that state, local entity, see if there's one organization or charity that they're recommending or utilizing more. I know here we did, I think it was the United Way was handling a lot of the stuff for the disasters and the May tornadoes and more. So we always recommend, check with the local area first, make sure that you know what organization you're giving to.
Yeah, like Red Cross is probably going to be a safe bet.
Right.
United Way, you mentioned things like that, maybe the regional food bank even for food donations.
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you.
Have a great Independence Day.
All right.
And for more information on the Better Business Bureau, you can go to bbb.org/Oklahoma City or ask.bbb.org/Oklahoma City. Excuse me. 239-6081 for more information. We'll be right back.